In precision flight, control isn't a luxury, it's survival. Whether you're lining up a perfect landing in atmosphere or making fine corrections in a dogfight, having reliable rudder control can mean the difference between success and failure. And in a game like Star Citizen or any serious sim, you can feel that difference instantly. Today we're putting the WinWing Orion Rudder Pedals through their paces. From their heavy-duty construction and smooth dampening to the level of fine-tuned control they offer during critical moments, I'm going to break down what these pedals get right, how they stack up to some of the best on the market, and why they could be one of the smartest upgrades you can make for your setup. Now, just to be completely upfront, WinWing did send me these pedals at no cost for review. This is not a sponsored video, and I'm not paid to say anything. Everything that you'll hear is based on my own time using them and my honest opinion. Before we get into it, I also want to apologize to both the community and to WinWing for how long this review has taken to get out. Life and content balance slowed me down a lot more than I'd like, and that's on me. And I'll probably be apologizing again in the next few reviews as well. Right out of the box, the Orion pedals made a strong first impression. Visually, they're some of the best looking rudder pedals I've ever seen. Clean design, aggressive angles, and a professional finish that feels right at home in a high-end cockpit setup. And once I had them in hand, I was immediately impressed by how rigid they felt. No flex, no give, just solid, well-machined construction. WinWing clearly took this design seriously. If these rudder pedals deliver, I'll show you why. And if they fall short, I'll call that out too. So let's find out if the WinWing Orion rudder pedals are ready for the verse and for serious flight sim pilots. Getting the WinWing Orion pedals set up is quick and simple. After unboxing, you just connect the pedals to your PC via USB and install WinWing's SimApp Pro software. The pedals are recognized immediately, but if you want to fine-tune them, like adjusting dead zones or pedal curves, you'll need to do that manually inside their software. There's no automatic walkthrough for centering or applying dead zones, so it's worth taking a few extra minutes to dial them in exactly how you want them. Once you made your adjustments, the pedals are ready to map in games like Star Citizen, DCS, or Microsoft Flight Simulator. The entire process is straightforward and doesn't require any complicated setup or additional drivers. If you're used to tinkering with sim gear, you'll be up and running in no time. Once you're in flight, the first thing that you'll notice with the pedals is how stable and deliberate every input feels. The resistance is tuned in a way that allows for precise, small corrections without feeling overly stiff. Now, whether you're easing onto the yaw axis for a fine lineup during atmospheric landings or feathering adjustments in a tight dogfight, these pedals give you the ability to control your motion down to a few degrees without overcorrecting or fighting the hardware. The damper system, especially if you opt for it, adds a huge bonus here. It smooths out motion and adds just enough weight to keep everything feeling controlled and predictable. You don't feel like you're sliding around or having to micromanage rebound like you sometimes do with cheaper pedals. Every adjustment feels intentional and predictable. And when your airframe is on final approach or you're lining up a firing solution in combat, that reliability matters. Compared to joystick twist axes or lower-end rudder options, this is a whole different level of fidelity. Having your feet handle yaw the way that they would in real-world aviation doesn't just make it feel immersive. It frees up your hands for throttle and stick inputs, letting you fly more precisely under pressure. It's honestly a more natural distribution of workload, and it makes you a better pilot. Small incremental inputs feel clean and responsive. You're not fighting the hardware, you're in command of it. And in Star Citizen or any serious sim, the difference is critical. That means you can keep your target locked even during high-speed, high-G maneuvers where yaw control is often the difference between landing a shot or not. It also means that you can fine-tune your approach vectors during planetary landings, feather your ship's nose during final descent, or make micro-corrections during docking without ever feeling like you're oversteering. In actual dogfighting, where one poorly timed correction can put you in someone else's gun sights, that fidelity isn't just noticeable, it's decisive. The advantage becomes even more obvious the longer you fly. In cheaper setups, fatigue starts to creep in because you're fighting spring tension or mushy dead zones. With the Orion pedals, the pressure remains balanced, enough to keep you deliberate, but not so much that it wears you down after a long session. They're built to feel precise, intentional, and persistent. Even in situations where sudden input changes are required, like recovering from a spin or reacting to turbulence, the Orion pedals shine. The damping keeps movement smooth without lag, and because the pedals themselves are so solid and weighty, you don't get that unpleasant jolt or overshoot when you rapidly correct. When fights are decided by who can maintain composure and precision, not who can throw the stick around the fastest, these pedals give you a measurable edge. Not in a way that's flashy, but in a way that consistently tilts outcomes in your favor. That's what precision really looks like. Consistent control, clean feedback, and real tactical advantage where it matters most. Now, if you're getting value from this and want to stay sharp in the verse, make sure to subscribe. I cover Star Citizen with a focus on weekly updates, grounded deep dives, and honest reviews for players who want more out of their gameplay. And if you want to take it a step further, becoming a channel member is the best way to support the work I do here. Members get access to private Discord channels where we break down gear setups, tactics, and the latest Star Citizen changes. You'll also get behind-the-scenes content, shoutouts in every video, and more. It's a direct way to support independent content without sponsors calling the shots. You can also back the channel on Patreon if that works better for you. Either way, your support or just clicking the like button helps keep these videos coming and makes a real difference. Now, it's impossible to talk about the WINCTRL Orion Rudder Pedals without bringing up the obvious competitor, Virpil's ACE Combat pedals. Both are built like tanks, both offer incredible precision, and both are designed for serious sim pilots who aren't just looking for a casual upgrade. They're investing in tools they can trust. Now, it's worth mentioning that Virpil's ACE lineup has officially been replaced by the newer R1 Falcon rudder pedals. Unfortunately, I haven't had the chance to test the Falcons yet, but I've spent years flying with the ACE Combat pedals, and they've set a high standard for comparison. In terms of raw build quality, the Orion pedals and the ACE Combat pedals are extremely close. Heavy-duty metal construction, rock-solid pedal arms, and no flex or creaking under pressure. Both deliver that premium industrial-grade feel that you expect at this level. Where the Orion pedals pull ahead slightly is in price to performance. At roughly $25 to $30 less, you're getting build quality that rivals some of the best on the market. It's the kind of savings that doesn't come at the cost of performance. And for a lot of pilots, that alone makes them a smart move. In terms of feel, the Orion pedals with the damper installed have a smoother, slightly more fluid resistance profile. Inputs feel a little more progressive, and it's easier to make fine adjustments without overcorrecting. The Virpil ACE pedals, by comparison, have a stiffer, slightly heavier feel with a sharper return to center. Neither is better, just different. The biggest difference, if it's a deal maker for you, is that you can change the cams out on Virpil's pedals. If you prefer a pedal set that feels lively, natural, and smooth underfoot, especially for space sims like Star Citizen where you're constantly making small, adaptive inputs, the Orion pedals are outstanding. If you're flying high-G, high-pressure military flight sims like DCS and you want that extra mechanical weight, the Virpil ACE Combat pedals might feel a little more satisfying. For casual players or pilots who split their time between Star Citizen, Microsoft Flight Sim, and DCS, the Orion pedals offer a level of versatility that's hard to beat at that price point. At the end of the day, the big question buyers ask is simple. Are these worth it for the money? And honestly, based on feel, construction, and what they deliver out of the box, the WINCTRL Orion pedals are a serious contender for the best value in the high-end pedal market right now. Now, the Orion rudder pedals aren't just for one kind of pilot. They're built for versatility. In Star Citizen, they give you precise yaw control for tightening your turns, adjusting your approach vectors, and making fine corrections during intense dogfights. In DCS and other combat sims, they provide that critical edge when coordinating rolls, rudder kicks, and split-second maneuvers under pressure. And in civilian flight sims like Microsoft Flight Simulator, they offer buttery smooth taxiing, coordinated turns, and real-world landing dynamics that just feel right. Whether you're drifting around asteroids, locking onto the meatball in a carrier landing, or making a textbook flare onto a runway, these pedals are designed to be a critical part of your control setup. After spending significant time with the Orion pedals, one thing is clear. These aren't built for the short term. Everything about them, from the full metal construction to the reinforced pedal arms, feels like it's designed to take real abuse and keep going. There's no flex under pressure, no rattling at the end of the pedal stroke, and no signs of wear from heavy use. If you're planning to fly casually once a week, they'll last you practically forever. If you're a daily pilot hammering away in dogfights, atmospheric landings, and combat scenarios, they still feel like they're built to take that punishment without losing precision. And honestly, in so many ways that matters. Because the reality is, good gear isn't about the first 20 hours. It's about the 200th or even the 2000th. When the novelty wears off, it's just you, your instincts, and your equipment holding the line. Based on the last 8 months I've spent with them so far, the WINCTRL Orion Rudder Pedals are absolutely built for that long haul. And that's not saying something lightly. At the end of the day, gear matters. And when it comes to rudder pedals, the WINCTRL Orion punches way above its price point. The construction is heavy duty. The damping system smooths out your inputs without adding unnecessary resistance. And the precision you get, whether it's for atmospheric landings or staying locked onto a target in a full-burn dogfight, feels incredibly natural. Compared to the competition, you're getting a level of build quality and control that genuinely rivals higher-end offerings at a lower cost. The pedals come in at about $338 without the damper, and $378 with it, making them an extremely competitive option for anyone looking to upgrade. No, they're not the cheapest pedals out there, but cheap gear tends to cost you more in the long run, through frustration, inconsistency, or flat-out failure when it matters most. With the Orion pedals, you're investing in stability, smoothness, and tactical precision across every aspect of flight. And if you spend hours in Star Citizen, DCS, or Microsoft Flight Sim, you'll feel that difference every time that you climb into the cockpit. For me, they've absolutely earned a permanent spot in my setup, and I wouldn't hesitate to recommend them if you're serious about building a rig that keeps up when things get intense. But what about you? Would you want to add precision rudder control to your setup, or are you sticking with twist stick for now? Drop a comment below and let's talk about it. I'd really love to hear your thoughts. And if you want to check out another essential piece of sim gear that could take your setup even further, make sure to watch my review on the VKB NXT Evos or the WINCTRL Ursa Miners. Both are perfect options if you're looking to build a serious, precision-driven flight setup that feels rock solid in the verse, and they won't break the bank. As always, thanks for watching. Fly safe, pilots, and I'll see you in the verse. Havoc out.